something that will forever link them to Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders. You want to talk about a partnership. It was announced, I think, 3 days ago. Look at that. Yeah, Scotty Swingler he's on it, dude. But you could say, yeah, prime privilege, right? Nobody's got an issue with Travis Hunter getting his number retired, his jersey retired. You could, if you want to split hairs on that one, say you could wait a little longer, right? Sure, you could. Timing is a little off. The Shedeur Sanders getting his jersey retired, I think it's preposterous. I just want to call it what it is. And the reason why this hits close to home, for me particularly, I was a super fan of the 1990 and 1991 Colorado football teams. A kid growing up in Philadelphia, I fell in love with college football, with all the bells and whistles and the cinema that is college football in 1990. Again, I talked about CBS and their ability to bring a story to life with the master, several stories, and Jim Nantz, right? And nobody does it like that. Well, I'm going to take you back 30 years. I guess 30 years, if my math is maybe a little more than that. But no, I think 30 years. Anyways, 1990, and I'm a kid at home, and the intro music starts, the college football music that we all know now. It's in our DNA. And they show Ralphie the Buffalo running out, right? Colorado is hosting Illinois in Boulder. And it was really before that first team that was a title contender that lost the Orange Bowl to Notre Dame had really taken flight. But the story behind the team was amazing. Of course, Bill McCartney had resurrected this program. I don't even know if you'd say resurrected. He built this program into, a top 20 contender at that point. This was the second game of the season, I think, when they're taking on Jeff George in Illinois. But underneath this all is Salinesi, their quarterback, who is dying of cancer at 22 years of age, watching this game in the luxury box as his teammates are really playing for him, and you could feel it. I've never seen a storyline like this, and it just reached through the TV and grabbed me, and it said, you are going to be a college football fan for the rest of your life. Jim Nantz was calling that game, by the way. He's the first guy you see on camera, and it was just amazing. So I followed that team for the rest of, the time that collection was together. And I was, you could say, well, this guy's a front runner, but, it was Darian Hagan was your triple option quarterback, Eric Bieniemy. On the other side, they had a freshman named Chad Brown. They had Deion Figures, who wore number 2, by the way, who played in the NFL for many years. I think he was an all-pro with the Steelers. And I feel a connection to Chad, not only because I adored him at that time and his team, but I also called a series of football games with him, I think about 2 years ago. We called 2 games, 2 games to start, a Baylor game, Baylor versus Albany, and then we had an Oklahoma State game the next week, Oklahoma State versus like Arkansas Pine Bluff, And Chad was an amazing dude. So, there's a sucker in me, right? We got a guy who I idolized as a kid, and now he's just a broadcaster, and he was just so cool to be around. And it's not like we're buddies or stay in touch, but my experience with Chad Brown was a very good one. And, so I feel invested in this 1990, 1991 group, right, that eventually won a national championship in 91. They beat Notre Dame because Chad was clipped on Rocket Ismail's touchdown return that was called back. Chad was vocal yesterday and 2 days ago when the news came out about how this was a little bit dismissive for his championship team that had so many amazing players that had won a national championship at Colorado, right? And none of those guys have had their jersey numbers retired. None. Not Eric Bieniemy. Not Sal. I don't know how they honor Salinesi today, but it was more for his inspiration than his work on the football field. Even a guy like Chad Brown was a beast at Colorado, and Chad doesn't say anything about himself in any of his tweets, but Chad was a beast at Colorado. He was a beast in the NFL. And there's Alfred Williams, guys I'm not even mentioning now, who were so instrumental to that team's success. I mentioned Deion Figures, who, again, wore number 2. The way I see it, and I love Colorado. I love Shedeur Sanders. I've gone on record saying the thing I love about him more than anything is his grit and his leadership. I mean, he played behind a papier-mâché offensive line and still found a way to be one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And he's obviously, he might get picked top 3 in the draft. He might get picked 21st. He might fall out of the first round. Like, we don't know about his future. But what we do know is, I know this, Colorado's kind of sold out in this move because it's a money grab. 2, it's I think, you keep Coach Prime happy. And if you're a prisoner of the moment, Coach Prime has done things for Colorado we'll never, ever be able to even comprehend, right? The money train is still rolling at going at light speed down the tracks, right? So you have this relationship with Deion Sanders where you do everything you can to keep him happy and satisfied. But, next year, Deion Sanders could leave your program, leave the program. And then you've got his son's name, retired. And maybe Deion, for all you know, Deion is coming in to coach for, I don't know, he could, let's say, Notre Dame. I'm just throwing that out there, right? Like, no reason to say that because Marcus Freeman, but you get the idea. He could be coming in to coach with another power. And it can feel so less, it can feel even more personal, but it will feel worse for a Colorado fan and for a Colorado alum, and certainly for people that are affiliated with that program, that this guy who played 2 seasons at Colorado, and I think 13-12 was the record. They didn't make the college football playoff last year. They came close, amazing season. And to do it now is just so premature. That's why the whole thing just feels weird. Scotty, I see you chuckling. Do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I could not agree with you more. I thought you said it very well. I'm sitting here going,
this is a program that won a national title.
Yeah.
And you're going to retire Shedeur Sanders jersey? Like, and I'm not hating. I'm like you. Like, no. I think he's a good kid and a good quarterback, but like, not only did he not make the playoff, they did the Big 12 conference championship game. They finished third in the conference. They third or fourth at the end of the standings with BYU right there, right?
Third or fourth.
Dude, so like, okay, you're one of 2 retired jerseys, is a Heisman Trophy winner, one of the best football players ever, period, Travis Hunter. Yeah. And the other one's the quarterback of the 3rd place Big 12 team, and they got blown out in their bowl game. Like, I don't understand
which he played in
at all,
and which everybody played in because Deion is the man like that.
Frankly, like football, because there's so many players and only so many numbers, it's not often that football teams retire jerseys, period. Like the Cowboys have a ring of honor, but they don't retire any of those numbers.
No, the only other one from Colorado I think that's retired is Rashaan Salam. Heisman Trophy winner.
And which fitting, like that's great. But my point is college football teams don't usually retire numbers.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not something that you like. Baylor women's basketball has retired a handful of numbers, but you've only got 15 players on a team at a time. Yeah. Like, you've got 90 guys fighting over 99 numbers, and now 2 of them are off the board, and one of them is Shedeur Sanders. Like, I just don't. It's very like I think Texas Tech recently retired Patrick Mahomes' number. And that's funny to me too, because it's not like Mahomes won a lot of games at Texas Tech, but now he's going to end up retiring as one of the 3 best NFL quarterbacks to ever play, going to the NFL Hall of Fame, like standing up. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
We don't know. Shedeur Sanders could be out of the league. I hope not, but 4 years from now, Shedeur Sanders could be out of the league. Like,
and we don't know what his relationship.
Making content on TikTok, and he's going to have a retired jersey for finishing 3rd in the Big 12.
And we don't know what his relationship will be with the school. Like Patrick Mahomes, you can also say like he has an amazing relationship with Texas Tech. That school. A guy from White House, Texas.
He's embraced it. They've embraced him. Yeah. It's fine.
I was in Lubbock for a game earlier this year, and the Uber driver was talking about how adorned around the Chiefs stadium are Texas Tech ads because of the relationship that Patrick Mahomes has with the school.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, and let's just pretend, let's forecast. So you're forecasting one way. Like, what if Deion's not even the coach there in 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Let's forecast the other way. What if Deion Sanders is one of the 5 best coaches in college football, and 2 to 3 years from now, they win the college football playoff? Let's just say they do. Now you have to retire that quarterback's jersey, right? You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. And then it sets a precedent.
Yeah.
Like finishing 3rd and being a Heisman finalist is good enough to retire your jersey.
Yeah.
What happens when 2 quarterbacks from now wins a Heisman? The next quarterback wins a national championship. Now you're going to retire 6 football jerseys, and it makes the whole thing less special.
Yeah.
So I think jersey retirements are as close to sacred as you can get in sports.
Yeah.
And again, Travis Hunter's a unicorn. I think we're both well-deserved.
Yeah.
Shedeur, yeah.
Suspect.
It feels bad.
It doesn't pass the smell test.